for language, the language test was supposed to be today, but too many tests in one day means I bumped it to tomorrow, so we're gonna be starting something new, but the first thing I wanna do is review for the test, so please put your pencils down and get your eyes up here. Alright, the first thing you will be doing on your test tomorrow, your eyes should be over here, guys. First thing you should be doing is addressing an envelope. So, up here is who it's from, and down here is who it's to. So this is from, and this is to. So as you are addressing the envelope, you will be required to fix capitalization and punctuation mistakes. They will have written everything in lowercase, and they will not have put in any periods or any commas. So besides the fact that you need to make sure you capitalize a person's name, then when you get to the street or drive or avenue or boulevard where they've abbreviated, what do you also need to remember to do?
Period. And capitalize.
Yes, you need to put a period. And the street name needs to be capitalized. Every single word of it. If it's made up of more than one word, are you paying attention? If it's made up of more than one word, it all needs to be capitalized. Let's go to the third line. Eyes over here, please. Pay attention over here. Then you get to the city and the state and the zip code. What do you need to remember to do for that row?
Insert a comma between the city and the state.
Very good. You need to put the comma between the city and the state. What else do you need to remember to do?
Remember to put the zip code.
Okay, yes, but if you don't put the zip code, that's on you because it's there to copy. That's just carelessness. And yes, I did say that some of you forgot to copy the zip code, and that would take off a point, but as far as what we're learning in language, what do you need to remember to do?
Capitalize.
Yes, you need to remember to capitalize the city and the state. Alright? Sometimes when you have a name, you also have this thing right here. What is that? Everybody.
Your turn.
This.
You look for it too. The title of respect.
Yes, the title of respect. So sometimes when you write, there's going to be a title of respect. So if you have a title of respect, what do you need to remember to do?
Capitalize and put a period because
Alright,
it's
do
abbreviation.
you always put a period?
No. For miss.
Miss. M-I-S-S would not get a period.
And if
So
it's
if
not
you are writing a
abbreviated.
letter to a miss, M-I-S-S, then you don't put a period. But if you're writing a letter to a Mr. or a Mrs. or a doctor or a reverend, and they've abbreviated it, you need to capitalize it and put a period. Because titles of respect get capitalized, and titles of respect get a period if they're abbreviated. Alright, so again, the whole entire name needs to be capitalized, first and last name. And again, the whole entire, this is one of those street addresses where there's two names. West Spring Street. So again, make sure you capitalize all the words in the name of the street. And again, don't forget the period for the abbreviation. Alright, and then your city, comma, state. So you will have to correct all capitalization and all punctuation mistakes in your test tomorrow as you address an envelope. The second section, I do have a section like it on the middle of the board, and that's where you're going to have to rewrite, and they've already capitalized it for you. You are just putting in the missing punctuation, so we'll practice that in a moment. And the next section, you're going to be putting in commas, and let's do the comma rules for that reason. So look at the chart, eyes up here, use a comma and a conjunction to correct a run-on sentence. That one will not be on the test. Use a comma after yes or no at the beginning of a sentence. Use a comma before and after the name of the person you are speaking to in a sentence. What do we call that?
Direct address.
And if their name is first, the comma goes after their name. Guys, this is after. Here's the name. This is after. And you're not really even paying attention to me. Pay attention. Then you wouldn't be saying the wrong word. If their name is last in the sentence, where do you put the comma?
Before.
Before their name. What if their name is somewhere in the middle?
Before and after.
Attention on me, please. Alright, next rule. Use a comma to separate a city and a state. What's the other part of that rule?
And after the state too, not at the end of the sentence.
Very good. After the state too, if it's not at the end of the sentence. Next one. Use a comma to separate words or groups of words in a series. Okay, words in a series. You guys have pretty good at that. Remember, you stop when you get to the word. And or. Please put our pencils down. I do not know why you have your pencils in your hand. It has nothing to do with printing a chart. Last one. Use a comma to separate parts of a date. My least favorite rule on there. So what are we going to do there? We're going to say use a comma after the days in a date and after the year too if it's not at the end of a sentence. Alright, so that whole entire section on the test will be about inserting commas according to the rules you've learned. The next section has to do with direct quotation, and I do have a couple of those on the board that we're going to do. And what you'll have to do for that section is use proofreader marks to show what should have been capitalized, and use proofreader marks to correct the mistakes as far as where the quotation marks go and the ending punctuation, etc. Alright, so let's look first of all at my first sentence on the board. My aunt exclaimed, I am getting married on June 6, 2021. So she was excited that she was getting married. Alright, so what I do first, Paige?
Capitalize my.
Yes. My. Why, class?
Because
it's the beginning of the sentence. What else do I need to do? Liam?
Insert quotation marks after the comma.
Very good. My aunt exclaimed. That's who said it. And the beginning of what she said is right here after the comma. So insert a quotation mark right after the comma. Yes.
Capitalize I.
Yes. Capitalize I. 2 reasons, class. What are they?
Because it's I and it's the beginning
Okay,
of the
we're not going to
quotation.
say because it's I.
The
I've already told you.
word I.
There are people out here who say because it's I, and they start getting in their head that every time they see I, they have to put capital I. Do you understand? You have to say because it's the word I. The word I needs to be capitalized. And also because it's the beginning of the
Quotation.
direct quotation. The direct quotation. Let's call it direct quotation because remember an indirect quotation is not the same. It's a quotation, but it's indirect. It's you saying somebody else's words in your own words. Alright? I am getting married on June 6, 2021. What's next? Grace?
After.
I am getting married on June 6, 2021.
Exclamation mark, insert.
Yes. After what though?
After 2021.
Yes. After the year 2021, you're going to insert an exclamation mark. How did you know that it was an exclamation mark?
Because she exclaimed.
Yeah, she says exclaimed. My aunt exclaimed. That means she was excited. Alright? And one more. Paige.
Insert quotation marks after the question.
Yes.
After the exclamation mark.
Yes, very good. Insert a quotation mark after the exclamation mark. Let's sit up, please. Sit up, please. Next sentence says, Sydney and Mallory asked, may we be in your wedding? Alright? So, and by the way, if you did one of those, and I think I called on Paige twice already, I need people who have not been called on to raise their hand and participate. Let's go. Sydney and Mallory asked, may we be in your wedding? Ben.
Capitalize Sydney.
Capitalize Sydney. 2 reasons, class. What are they?
Because it's the beginning of a sentence and its name.
Very good. Beginning of a sentence and a name. Michael.
Mallory.
Mallory. Why?
It's a name.
It's a name. Mallory is a girl's name. Sydney is a girl's name. Mallory is a girl's name. Lily.
Insert a question mark at the end of the sentence.
Where's the end of the sentence? What word?
After the wedding.
Very good. I wanted to point that out to you because I've had people before that put the question mark here because it was the end of the line. Please pay attention. Okay? This is not time for that. Alright, so this is not the end of the sentence. This is the end of the sentence. You don't put punctuation here just because it's in the line. You need to put it at the end of the sentence, which is here. Alright? She said to put a question mark because it is a question. There's a hint right there. Sydney and Mallory asked. You ask a question, so that is a question. Tess?
Quotation mark after.
Yeah, alright. It is after asked, but more specifically, it's after what? you're saying quotation mark, and you're saying after the word ask, but more specific. Be more specific. Where am I putting the quotation mark?
Before May.
What?
Before May.
Okay, before May, but I was trying to get you to tell me after the comma. Because it would be asked, comma, then the quotation mark. Alright, so after the comma, before the word may, you need quotation marks. Now what? Owen.
Put a comma after the question mark.
A comma after the question mark? A comma? Do you really mean to say a comma?
I mean, not a comma.
Quotation?
For the quotation mark.
Yes, the quotation marks after the question mark. Very good. Quotation marks after the question mark. We are still missing one thing. Olivia?
Capitalize May.
Very good. Capitalize may, everybody, because it's the beginning of the direct quotation. All right. The next thing on your test will be to take a sentence and change it to a possessive phrase. All right, so eyes up here. The first sentence says, this car belongs to my uncle. So what are we going to do to that? Who hasn't done one yet? Grace Taylor. This car belongs to my uncle.
Capitalize this because it's the beginning of the sentence.
Guess what? It already is.
Oh, it
You
is?
have just proven to me that you really are not paying attention at all. Because, hon, I just changed what I was doing. The sentences are even different colors. I changed what I was doing. I said we're taking a sentence and turning it into possessive phrase. Whatever is in your hand, bring it to me now and put it right
It
here.
was just a hair.
Okay, then stop. I need you to pay attention. This car belongs to my uncle. We're making it into possessive phrase. What do I need to do? Do you know what a possessive phrase is? The thing is, you should. We have been learning this for a long time now. That thing on your head, what is it? What is that thing on your head? This is not a trick question. Yes, you had your hand on. What is that?
It's me.
Yes. Okay. Whose headband is it?
Mine.
Okay, but what's your name?
Grace.
So how would you tell me that headband belongs to you?
Grace's headband.
Boom. Possessive phrase. This car belongs to my uncle.
Uncle's car.
Thank you. See, you do know how to do it. But you were not focused on what I was trying to teach. You were daydreaming and playing. Stop finding things to play with. And pay attention, because you do know this stuff if you're paying attention. But I had to waste time getting your attention back to what I'm trying to get you to do, and you realize, oh, I really do know that. Just pay attention from the get-go. Alright, so how would I do uncle's car? What do I need to do?
Just spell uncle apostrophe S car.
There you go. See, you do know what to do if you're paying attention. Alright, next one says Tim has a red jacket. Who hasn't done one? Put your hand down if you've already done anything else on the board already. Maya. Very good. Tim has a red jacket would be Tim's jacket. And by the way, if you wrote my uncle's car or Tim's red jacket, those would be correct also. Okay? But that's what you're also going to do on the test tomorrow. All right, we're going to move to that middle section now, because that middle section is also on the test. All right, the middle section is where you're going to rewrite the whole thing. Now, not all of those in the middle section on the test are going to be sentences. For example, that first one just says Orlando, Florida. All right, so Orlando, Florida. What would Orlando, Florida be, Grace?
City, a state.
A city and a state. What do we need to remember to do for a city and a state?
We need to capitalize the
Okay.
city and the state and
You are
put,
playing again. Yes.
a comma between them.
Alright, the thing is, you don't have to say capitalized because guess what? This section already has everything capitalized that needs to be capitalized. All you're doing is putting in the punctuation when you rewrite it. So in this section, you have to rewrite it. So you would rewrite it exactly as it is. Make sure you still capitalize your Orlando. And with a comma to separate it. Do you need to put the insert mark this time? No, because you're rewriting it to correct it. You're not inserting. If you were just inserting, you would do it. But if you're rewriting it, you are fixing it, and you don't have to do the insert marks when you're fixing it by rewriting it. Please sit up and pay attention. Next one says, Dr. James R. Sutton is my dentist. So what do we need to remember to do when we rewrite this one?
Keep,
Do one.
write doctor, capitalize, and put a period after R.
Alright, I'm gonna tell you again, you don't have to tell me about the capitalization because it already is capitalized.
Okay.
You just need to tell me that it needs a period because everybody, an abbreviated title of respect. Alright, and James, you would just write it. Does James need a period? No, that's the same thing. You just rewrite James. Eric, what do we do next? Capitalize? It's already capitalized. Why do you guys keep telling me to capitalize something when it's already capitalized? Because, everybody?
It's an initial.
Yes, R is his initial. It's not his whole name, that's his initial. We don't know what his middle name is, they just put R. So that's an initial. So put a period after initials. Zeke, where's the next punctuation go? Remember, this is just about putting in punctuation. Grace, hands on the board.
You put a period after dentist.
Alright, so that means if you would just rewrite the rest of the sentence, Sutton is my dentist. Now, I'm gonna warn you, some of you don't put a period at the end of the sentence, because that's what you're doing, you're putting in the missing punctuation. Listen, some of you would write his name, and even though it's capitalized up here, you would write it down here and you wouldn't capitalize it. It's already capitalized. This is not about capitalization, it's about the punctuation. You're rewriting it correctly with the punctuation, so make sure if it's capitalized, you capitalize it. Alright, now this next section is about the commas, inserting. This time you will be inserting commas. This is the only other section on your test that we haven't done anything before, but I did talk to you about it. Thank you, Grandma, for the guide. What do I need to do there? Owen.
Put a comma before and after grandma
Very good. Why?
because it's direct address.
Yes, before and after grandma, because grandma is somewhere in the middle of the sentence, so you need it before and after grandma. Right? Before and after, because it's direct address. Grace Taylor, tell me the next one for the, yes, Brittany, you may have a piece.
Put a comma after yes.
Very good. Put a comma after yes, because the rule is yes or no at the beginning of a sentence. Somebody has a pencil in her hand. I wish you had a pencil in your hand. Tess, what's next? Yes. Very good. You are talking to Brittany. Yes, Brittany, you may have a piece. You put a comma after Brittany, just like we did for Grandma. There's already one in front of Brittany because of the word yes. I really need you to stop playing with everything you can find and pay attention. Language test is tomorrow. Alright, so there's already one in front of Brittany. Normally you would have to put one before and after Brittany, but you already have one in front of Brittany because of the word yes. So you just need one after Brittany now. Alright, let's move on to the next sentence. Give a slice to Greg, Barry, and Will. Adam,
Put a comma after Greg
can you tell me why?
because words in a series, and
Very
after
good.
Barry,
Alright, very good.
and then stop because
Alright,
the word
so
and.
this one is words in a series, right, Micah? Words in a series, Greg, comma, Barry, comma, there's the word and, so you stop putting the commas. Alright, because we are moving on to the next page, instead of having the test today, we are gonna be learning about a verb. So that is a part of speech. Oh, my poster fell down. Alright, so eyes up here, We've already learned about a noun. We said a noun is the name of a person, place, or thing. Today we're going to learn about a verb. A verb is a word that usually shows action. I will move it so you guys can see it. I know you can't see it when I'm holding it for the camera to see. So what is a verb? A verb is a word that usually shows action. Why do you think it says usually? Grace?
Because it can like say something about like isn't it action?
Alright. Well, actually there are some verbs that are not action verbs. They are actually called being verbs or linking verbs. Okay? And we're going to learn about those later. But they are not action verbs at all. Alright. So you guys remember when we took a sentence and divided it between the subject and the predicate? Well, guess what? The verb is always in the predicate part of the sentence. So we're going to do that to these sentences right now. I need to move the camera just a wee bit. All right. Eyes up here, please. Stop playing around. Let's read the first sentence. Wyatt and Ivy swept the floor. All right? So what is your subject?
Wyatt and Ivy.
Wyatt and Ivy. What did they do?
Swept the floor.
I need a different marker because that's the same exact color. Let's get a different color. All right. So Wyatt and Ivy, that would be my subject. Swept the floor, that would be my predicate, right? All right. Now, we just learned that a verb is a word that shows action. So what is the action in the swept the floor?
Swept.
Swept. So swept is your verb. That's an action, something that you do. All right, let's read the next one. Abraham obeyed God. What's the subject? Abraham. So divide it between Abraham. What did Abraham do? Obey God. So in that predicate part, Grace Taylor, obeyed God, what is the action? What is something you can do? Abraham obeyed God. This predicate part's going to have your verb in it. It says a verb is a word that usually shows action. What is the only thing that you can do? Obeyed. That's the only thing you do. So obeyed in that sentence is the verb. Please put your pencil down and pay attention. Up here. Next one. Mary's book fell off the shelf. All right, so what's the subject, everybody?
Mary's book.
All right, so divide it between Mary's book. So what was the subject? Mary's book. And what was your predicate?
Fell off the shelf.
All right, in that fell off the shelf, Brennan, what is your verb? Fell. That's the only thing you do. Fell. Okay? All right. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to give you some words before we start our paper. I'm going to give you some words, and you need to decide if it is a verb or not. Is it something you can do? Whistle. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. You can do that. Whistle. So whistle could be a verb. Eat.
Yes.
Yes. Very good. Just say yes or no. Stand.
Yes.
Very good. Crayon.
No.
Crayon is a person, place, or thing. It's a thing, right? So it's a noun. Whisper.
Yes.
Kneel.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you can kneel. Kneel.
I kneel to the mat.
Kneel. All
I
right.
got the kneel.
What about knee?
No.
Knee is actually what you kneel on, right? What about drive?
Yes.
School.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. It's a place.
Can
No,
you
yeah.
place? Person, place,
You
or
can
thing?
be in school, but
Jonathan, sit up.
you can be
Do
in
you have on
school.
your jacket? Take your jacket off now and hang it up, please.
You can be in school.
Jump.
Yes.
Thing is, if you have to say you can be that, or if you can say you can be in, then it's definitely not going to be a verb.
Okay.
Remember I told you that there's these things called being verbs or linking verbs?
That's a B verb.
No, school is not a being verb. School is a place. Person, place, or thing. That's a noun.
Like you said, be in school. That's a B
No.
verb, right?
No. No. Like if you say, you happy?
No.
So happy is not a verb. Am would be a being verb telling what I am.
Oh.
So it's making them be telling you what I am.
It's describing.
Yes, so happy is adjective. That's describing. But we haven't learned that. What about climb?
Yes.
Very good. All right, let's look at your paper. Quickly, get that one up and get to your feet. The first thing we are going to do is just find the verb in the sentence, and you're going to, well, actually you are going to divide it, but you're not going to do all of this. You're only going to underline the verb twice. We're not going to underline everything. We're going to divide it this way. Are you listening? You're going to divide, no, I'm looking at the wrong page. Sorry, never mind. All right, let's look at the right page. My bad. I was doing what I did in distance learning. I did the wrong page that day. And you guys were not there to correct me. So I just kept on doing it and did the wrong page in the wrong day. All right, let's read the top where it says, a verb is a word that usually shows action. Every sentence must have a verb. So to be a complete sentence, it has to have some kind of verb, whether it's an action verb or one of those other verbs we're going to learn about later. All right, so let's read. It says, read the sentences, the bird flew. So the verb is? Flew. Keep going. Jesus hears my prayer. Hears. Very good. The
Boy runs.
Runs.
Very good. Next. Aubrey jumped. Next. Samuel ate lunch. Very good. And? Very good. Now this section we are just going to circle anything that is an action verb. So what's the first word?
Wash.
Can you do it? Yes. So circle wash. So we're going to go across the road. What's the next word?
Open.
Yes. Very good.
Describe something.
Okay, you can say that something, the open box, but you also can do it. And that's what I'm doing right here. Open. Okay?
Open.
Sometimes a word can be used more than one way. But if you can do it too, then it's still a verb.
Okay.
All right? Next.
Listen.
Yes.
You don't listen, but can you?
Yes.
Yes. When you have your attention, you do. You listen. Okay, next.
Cozy.
You're not cozy. That's going to be an adjective because it's a describing word. Like you could describe a blanket as being cozy, right? Cozy blanket or cozy pajamas. So that one is not an action, is it? Okay, you were supposed to be circling these if you were not listening. And you need to listen. This is something you can do, but you're not doing it, obviously. Not cozy? What's the next one? Not cozy.
Shut.
Yes. If you can open something, then the opposite of that would be shut, right?
You just
Should
shut
also
the
be
door.
used as an adjective.
Yes, it could be.
You also
Just like you
shut
can.
the door too.
Please stop talking out. Yes, I did. All right, next word is?
Quickly. No.
You cannot quickly. It is an adverb actually describing how you do something. You can run quickly or you can work quickly, but that is not something you can do. You cannot quickly. All right, what's the next word? Right. Yes. And that is the correct spelling. There's another right, R-I-G-H-T. You cannot do that one.
I got it right.
That is an adjective.
I got it
Yeah.
on the test.
Next word.
Quickly.
No.
Quietly.
This one is quietly.
Yes.
Can you quietly?
No.
No, you can be quiet, but that is not the same thing. If you have to say I can be quiet, then that's definitely not a verb. You cannot do it if you're having to say I can be it. And this one doesn't say quiet, it actually says quietly. So that would describe how you do something. Like if I told you to work quietly, that would describe your action. All right, next. Peaceful. No, you cannot peaceful. You would have to say, but I can be peaceful. Well, then it's not a verb, is it? Next.
Walk.
Walk.
Yes.
So circle walk. Next row, first word.
Give.
Yes. Yes, you can give. All right, next.
Lazy.
No.
Yeah. I know.
You're not lazy. You would have to say, but I can be lazy, and that means it's not a verb. If you have to say, but I can be, then that's not a verb. All right, next.
Sing.
Yes.
Yes, that is something you do. We do it almost every day.
That sings.
I know, but that just means one person sings. One person sings, but the whole class will sing, right? Sing, the class sing. No, you say the class sings because that is called you as your group.
But you can't say I sings.
No, you say she sings. You
I
can say
sing.
Grace sings. But you would say Zeke and Grace sing.
Me sing.
Okay, but we'll learn that later. That's something different. What's the next word? Keep. Can you do that? Yeah, so you keep something. Like if somebody gives you something that's very special to you, you want to keep it forever, right?
Yeah.
Because it's very special. Okay? And the last one?
Two.
No.
You cannot say
That is either an adjective or a noun. If you're talking about the number 2, it is a noun. If you're talking about describing how many you have, that's an adjective.
I have two.
All right, next section. This time we're just dividing it this way. Are you looking at me?
Yeah.
Just dividing it this way. You're not underlining anything. Okay? Read the sentence with me. The big truck stopped at the red light.
The big
What's-
truck.
The big truck. So divide it between the big truck. And what did it do? Stop at the red light. Don't do anything to it, but what would the verb be? Stopped. Very good. All right, next. Zoe made a birthday card for Pastor Gordon.
Zoe.
Zoe, very good. Zoe's who did it?
Zoe.
She's the subject.
Looks like Zoe.
And what did she do? She made a birthday card for Pastor Gordon. Remember, we are not underlining it, we're just dividing it. What would the verb be in that sentence? Made. Very good. Next. Landon and Jack played soccer last Saturday.
Landon and Jack.
Did you play soccer last Saturday, Landon? All right.
I did.
Landon and Jack? Okay, good.
I did.
Maybe one day my husband will ref you guys because he's been refing the older team. He reffed the brother's team.
Wait, what does he look like?
All right, so Landon and Jack, people already said it. Landon and Jack is the subject. What's the verb?
Play.
Played is the word. The predicate would be played soccer last Saturday, but the verb is played. But we're not doing anything to it. We're just talking about it. All right, several colorful ducks live in a pond near our house.
Several colorful ducks.
Very good. Several colorful ducks divided after that. Live in a pond near our house would be the predicate. So what's your verb? Live. Very good. Last one. Read it with me. Aunt Carol made a cup of hot tea.
Aunt Carol.
Very good. Aunt Carol. Put the line after Aunt Carol. The subject is Aunt Carol. The predicate would be made a cup of hot tea. And please tell me, what would the verb be?
Made.
Excellent. Now, the last section on your paper, we are going to fill up all those lines with verbs. So we're going to start with Olivia Yinger. Give me a verb, any verb. Something you can do. Made, okay. We've had that one several times today, so made. Abby, play. Ben,
Run.
run. Grace Taylor,
Jumped.
jump. I'm just going to say jump.
Okay.
Jumped would be past tense, but we're going to write the just a regular word.
Okay.
Draw. Draw. Very good. That's a new one that we haven't seen yet, I think. Draw. Oh, I need to move this so she can see. Don't raise your hand because I'm just going around the room. Everybody's going to get a chance, okay? Please put your hand down. Grace Taylor. Grace Holbrook.
Walk.
Walk. Very good. Paige.
Catch.
Catch. Excellent. Adam.
I forgot my right. W-R-I-T.
Very good. W-R-I-T-E. Very good. Right. Whoa. All right, Liam.
Talk.
Talk. Owen.
Flip.
Flip. Excellent. I like it when you guys come come up with one that people, that is not on your paper already. Maya, sing. By the way, you can
Lame.
skip some of these, but by the end, you should have one on every line. Sing, that's a good one. And that brings us to Micah.
Flu.
Flew. Like a bird flew or an airplane flew. Jonathan.
Tape.
Tape. Very good.
I thought he
Tape.
meant the.
All right, you can be talking about the noun tape, but when you take that tape and actually do something with it, you say, I will tape the box shut. So that's the action of it. Yes. Lily?
She said something. I don't know.
I don't know what she said. I didn't hear her. Can you say it again? What did you do last night? All night long. Sleep. Right? Think about it. You guys might say, but I'm just laying there. But you are doing something.
You are
You're
sleeping.
And I bet you most of you do not sleep just laying there. Most of you are playing all over the bed. Right? Garrett, sit down and stop talking out. Say it again. Push. Okay.
That's the last
Did
one
you
we can
say
do.
pull? Well, it is, but we're gonna do one for everybody. Because I told you you could skip if you want to. Pull. I thought you said pull at first, but pull would be one too. Pull and push, both. Dance. And Brennan? Climb. And Tess? Fall. Very good.
It's fun.
Right. And there are so many more we could do. This is just a little bit of them.
Man.
There's so many things you can do all